Thank you all for coming. Tonight, my speech is to persuade you on why you should live in the country rather than in the city. Everyone wants to be healthy, right? People do not realize that where you live can actually have an impact on both your mental and physical health. According to www.naturalnews.com, a sound diet, exercise, plenty of sleep, and escaping the concrete jungle of city life, all these things contribute to a longer, healthier, and less stressful life, according to new research. We've all had friends and family that have lived in a large city, and the majority of them live a complicated and stressful life, dealing with the large city environment, while studies have shown living in the country provided a more relaxed, improved health, and more stress-free living. Tonight, I will tell you why you should live in the country by some of the characteristics being fresh air, freedom, and a relaxed environment. Tonight, I will start by telling you some of the reasons you need to live in the country, starting with how fresh the air is, unlike in the city. The screen in front of me shows how polluted the air is in the country and the city. Notice how much more the city has than the country. Air quality is much better than living in a city in the country, with a much lower air pollutant percentage. In Phoenix, Arizona, they have recently been moved to the top of the most populated list after being judged by year-round particle levels. Bakersfield, California, being ranked number 2, it is a combination of soot, dust, and aerosols that are suspended in the air. All cities, even the smaller ones, are more likely to have problems if they aren't as severe. In the country, you won't see those as much because of the more spaced out, less polluted areas living in the country brings. According to www.mnn.com, less air pollutants in the country than the city, meaning there are less factories and more trees. It is also much cooler in the country than in the city. The visibility effects in the city make it where you cannot see because of the smog and pollution, unlike in the country. In the country, you have a better view. You have gorgeous skies, beautiful land. It is not as crowded, and people are not trying to kill you around every corner. The crime ratings are outrageous in the cities. Why in the world would someone with kids want to live in the city? Well, when you can live comfortably in the country with really no crime ratings. The number of murders in 2011 were higher in Phoenix, Arizona than the United States average. Along with the property crimes, but not to worry, the rape crime is only at 559 people per 100,000 people in 2011. Or you can have your car stolen, with auto theft crime being 7,555 thefts per 100,000 people. Now that I've talked to you about how fresh the air is in the country than in the city, I will talk to you about all the freedoms living in the country brings. In the country, you have room to ride your four-wheeler around without worrying about disturbing your neighbors. In the country, there are also swimming holes. So instead of paying to go swimming, you can ride your four-wheeler to the nearest creek to get just as clean water. Animals help both your physical and mental well-being, according to www.thedailybeast.com. They provide us with unconditional love and companionship. But also, with recent research, they have proven to reduce stress and blood pressure in owners, increase longevity in those who have had heart attacks, and even relax and improve the appetites of Alzheimer's patients. They are believed in any stress-related components, pets are able to improve stress. For instance, pets, more so dogs, can get their owners off the couch, giving them exercise and help them socialize instead of sitting around and feeling sorry for themselves. In in turn can help with a person's mood improve drastically. Agricultural opportunities, which include planting gardens. In a city, you don't have enough room and the air is too polluted to fulfill the needs of planting a garden and fully enjoy some of the small but best things in life, homegrown veggies. Even if you had a chance to, more than likely your neighbors are going to gripe about it. Living in the country can bring the full potential of gardening. Now that I've talked to you about how fresh the air is and some of the freedoms of living in the country brings, I will tell you about how relaxing the environment of the country brings. The country compared to the city is actually a very relaxed environment. It has less traffic, according to www.thenewsfeed.time.com. There are a few worse things than getting stuck in slow-moving traffic, rush hour traffic, when you're running a little late for work for the third time this week. In most gridlock cities, you waste an average of 42 hours just sitting in traffic. That is just about the equivalent to 1 week's vacation. All this time you are wasting, you could be out planting your garden or just enjoying the quietness of the outdoors instead of listening to grouchy people honking their horns and screaming at you. You also will have a larger living area to keep all your animals and farm supplies. In the country, you can go outside and grill with the family and enjoy burger. People are friendlier in the country. It is pretty obvious, if you stop and think about it, where people are going to be the friendliest at. In a more populated area that you are struggling to get around in or go to work or even go into a country store up the road, people have fresh air to breathe and are not as worried about getting robbed or murdered. In conclusion, tonight I have told you about living in the country. Some of the characteristics being the fresh air, freedom, and a relaxed environment. Do everything you can to lead a happy, successful, healthy life for you and your family and choose the right living quarters. According to www.thecourierpress.com, along with all these other outstanding advantages, you won't even have to worry about water or your sewage bill, so you can have that extra money to save.